Did you know that in 2002, a PlayStation obsessive called Dan Holmes loved his console so much, he legally changed his name to Mr. PlayStation 2? You're listening to the Xbox Hub Podcast, the official podcast of the TheXboxHub.com. For the latest Xbox news, reviews, videos, and opinions, make sure you visit the TheXboxHub.com. But for now, settle down, get comfy, and open your ears for some podcast delights. Hello, and welcome to the Xbox Hub Official Podcast, episode number 34. My name's Gareth Briley. I'm going to be your host, and on my virtual right is Mr. James Burks. How you doing, James?
Oh, I'm okay, thank you.
Good.
Bit tired.
Bit tired.
Got my Ovaltine.
Oh, that's
Ready for
good.
bed.
Oh, I like an Ovaltine. And on my virtual left is Mr. Richard Dobson. How you doing, Richard?
Hi there. Good to be back on it.
Good. You're upbeat. I like it. We're recording it at quite a late time for us. It's like now 10:30, and that reason will become apparent in a minute. But on my virtual opposite, see what I've done there?
Ooh.
Yeah, is Mr. Edgar Wolf. How you doing, Edgar?
Hi, doing very well, thank you.
I know. This is our first foursome.
Maybe for you.
Yeah. So we've got four of us here, and this is a special because we've just watched the PlayStation 5 conference game reveal about 20 minutes ago, and this is what our response to it. So this is a special, so we're going to go straight through. There's lots to get through, isn't there? From the beginning to the end. And we'll just talk about each thing. But first of all, I asked our guests before we came on about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, because it's been moved, what their predictions were for this reveal. And let's just talk it through and see if we got that right. So James, what were your two predictions?
I think it was a release date of September.
Okay.
And Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. Okay, we'll see if that's happened. Hold on to those. Put them in the bank. They're safe.
In the bank.
Richard, what were yours?
The second lot I gave you were the Gran Turismo 7 announcement, and I also saw rumours about a Dead Space announcement.
Okay, so that's your two. We'll keep the thing. Edgar, what were your two?
I don't think mine are exactly fair because I did them today.
You're right.
They were based on the most recent rumors, but mine were Spider-Man 2, Silent Hill, and possibly Resident Evil 8.
Okay, good. We'll find out. Let's go straight into it. So the first thing we saw as the thing was this kind of like beautiful kind of little minimal graphic reveal of the logo, and then it went into a sort of PlayStation 4 montage, didn't it, of the best of what's happened in this generation of consoles. And then it went into Rockstar logo come up, which, did it make you excited, Richard? Did you first of all think, "Ooh, what's this"?
No, I wasn't expecting a new game announcement. I think what we did get was to be expected, with it being GTA 5 announced for the PlayStation 5. I don't think that should come as any surprise to anyone, considering the juggernaut that it still is. It's still printing its own money, so it made absolute sense to put it on a new console.
So what they've done, just so we know, it's a GTA 5. Is it fair to say kind of Ultimate Online Edition? That's going to be free for every PlayStation 5 owner. Is that right?
Yes.
Have I said that right?
If you had PlayStation Plus, I believe, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going. I really enjoy. Overall, I'm going to say I really enjoyed everything, but that wasn't a very good opener for me. What do you think about that, James? Because it's a game.
I understand why they did it. It's a game that bridges the gap between 4 and 5 to kickstart the show. But is it harsh to say it's a bit like a cockroach? The game just won't die.
I know, it's not harsh at all.
And it'll probably be out on PlayStation 6. I don't know why. I mean, if you haven't played it already, why would you want to play it again?
It's become the new Skyrim. GTA 5.
Yeah.
Edgar, what did you think? Did you think, wow, I'm excited by this?
No, I'm pretty much in the same boat as Richard. I didn't expect it to be anything new, like a new game, because at this point you can't really expect GTA 6 sooner than 22, 23 maybe.
Yeah. I did think in my head, and I spoke to James about this, there might be a kind of a game like Bully 2, or there might be an announcement something different from Rockstar, but the way they probably worked on Red Dead, it's a similar thing. It's all systems go on the new GTA, probably, isn't it? It's one game at a time, maybe. We just don't know. But yeah, that. My heart dropped a bit. I did think first of all, oh no, is it going to be remastered all the way through? But it didn't. It didn't. Can I move on to the next one because we've got loads to go through?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've covered that one.
Yeah, we have got. Jim Ryan came on, and then we had the first one, which was a Spider-Man game.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't necessarily Spider-Man 2. Am I fair in saying this?
It will do. Yeah.
It's
correct.
Mars. How do you say it? Because I'm not.
Mars Morales.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some of you might have seen that from that character from the
Into the Spider-Verse.
Thank you.
That was.
And then that game is coming out in 2020. So that's the first one. We had Holiday 2020. James, tell us about this. Tell us what you saw.
Well, there wasn't a lot to see, but it was enough to get you excited. I would have liked to see a bit more gameplay. But we saw Miles. Wow. He didn't do a lot, did he, really?
There wasn't a lot going on.
But it was enough to say that, look, we've got another one. It's coming. And considering it's quite soon, I don't know why there wasn't any gameplay.
Edgar, what did you think of the Spider? You excited by Spider-Man?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
It's not quite Spider-Man 2 that we expected. It looks more like an expansion of sorts.
Yes.
Exactly. I think that's exactly. I just thought I thought, is it going to be using the same kind of engine, and it's just going to be exactly.
Yeah, it looks pretty much the same as the original Spider-Man.
Yeah. Richard, are you excited by that?
Yeah, I'm still excited. I think that's right. It would be a bit of a shorter game, but because Miles is obviously in the first Spider-Man, and you sort of experience his character arc from the comics in the first game of how I believe it's his dad dies, and which is similar then to the Into the Spider-Verse film, but yeah, it might just be like an extended piece of DLC, not necessarily DLC, but like a standalone expansion sort of thing.
And so is he still in New York? He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was a bit strange that they didn't have anything else. There wasn't any gameplay, and other games had more information and more people talking about it. But 2020.
Yeah, I think at least it's coming soon.
Yeah, and possible launch lineup.
I suspect so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna belt through these because we'll be here all day. The next one we saw was a little chat about it as well from the developer and Gran Turismo 7. So Richard, you were right. You saw it. You looked into the future.
Saw that one. And to be honest, I think I've not really played the last Gran Turismo I properly played was 3 on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed it. But since then, I think the Forza Horizon games have become the pinnacle of a racing series for me, even overtaking the standard Forza series. I just don't enjoy simulation racing as much anymore.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Edgar, what did you think? Are you a big driving fan?
I used to like Gran Turismo a lot. What I liked about this one was that the map in the career mode looks very similar to the one in Gran Turismo 4, which is, I'd say, one of the best in the series. But other than that, I'd say that I agree with Richard that Forza Horizon 4, I mean, the Horizon series speaks to me more than simulation racing.
Because you used to have to do lots of, and I really didn't play much of it at all on the original PlayStation. You had to do lots of tests, didn't you? You had to pass lots of. Is that right?
Yeah, I forgot all about them, but yeah, you did. Otherwise, you couldn't get access to the better races, basically.
Yeah,
You were stuck in a Toyota Yaris for eternity.
Yeah, that was me, I think. I kept failing the test. It's a bit like real life. Maybe they. And what did you, James? What did you think of the actual? Because we saw some gameplay, didn't we? We actually saw some driving.
I think the cars look stunning. I think you can't doubt that visually it's going to be amazing. But simulation racing is old hat. It just doesn't fly these days. And if it does, we've got Project Cars. So.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why they can't incorporate a bit of lightheartedness into it.
Do you think that brand, that name of the game, has still got the same cachet as it did?
No.
You don't. No.
I would think it does, but I think it's more of a niche now than it was previously.
Okay.
I think the expectation is that it won't sell as much as the series did in its heyday.
Right. Okay.
It won't sell the console.
No.
And did we get a release date for that, or was it 2020? Well, they didn't say anything, did they? I don't think.
No, nothing for that.
No. I expect that might be this year, though. I've got this feeling.
I think it would be a launch title.
Well, maybe it might do that weird thing. It did a little taster, didn't it? We talked about prologue. That's right. Maybe that's going to happen again. Okay. Ratchet and Clank was next, and I like this, and it's what's the full title of it? Ratchet and Clank.
Rift Apart.
Rift Apart, and you're going through different dimensions, and it was a really nice little. First of all, we saw a trailer, and then we actually saw some gameplay itself, and it looked really nice. Edgar, did you like the look of this?
Yeah.
You did? Yeah.
I like Ratchet and Clank a lot, and this one looked pretty much like what you'd expect from the series.
But it just looked really interesting. Kind of had that kind of graphical leap, but really.
Yeah, and there seems to be a new character as well, a female.
Yes. Yeah. That kind of multiverse, nice little kind of kick at the end. Yeah, this looked great. Yeah, it really did. James, you going to be playing it?
I think I might.
Oh.
It's been a long time since I've played Ratchet and Clank. But I think now's the time to go look into it.
I've got it on the PlayStation 4 in the library, and I haven't played it.
The different worlds look quite cool in the trailer.
Yeah.
In the gameplay, it was alright, but I'm not completely convinced. But once you get to see the different worlds, I think it'll be better.
By the way, the gameplay footage was pre-alpha, so it's still early.
A long way to go, yeah.
Yeah. And there was no release date on that, was there?
No.
I don't think
We did
so.
get the first mention of our old pal Ray Tracing, though.
Oh, Ray Tracing, he was there.
I've had to write down, obviously.
He was drunk in the corner, watching. Yeah, Ray Tracing was there, and that's the one I thought. Oh, this is really nice. It's good. It's a good sort of family game. And then we had Square Enix's name came up, and we had a game called Project Attica. Do you remember this?
Seems a bit pointless to me. Can we just move over from that one? Just skim over it.
I like this. This is the one I know, I don't care. But I saw a little bit of gameplay, but there's something that got me first. This is the first one that got me really. I thought, oh, this looks good.
Wow.
We didn't know anything about it, did we? it just looked nice. Can you?
I liked the Square Enix logo.
I'm with Edgar.
Good,
Yeah.
Edgar. You liked it. What about you, Richard? Can you help me out here? Can you describe what it was about?
I always see the Square Enix logo and get very excited,
Yeah.
and tend to be left disappointed by what comes after that. But yeah, this one just looked like a generic action adventure game that I've written down every game that got announced, but there's some that I'm struggling to remember already what they were.
Oh, this is my tip for the conference. No, it isn't really. I liked it a lot. But it's really hard because it's so short. But what I really liked was the landscapes look really good, and just on a kind of visual sense, I really like just the look of it for a moment. But yeah, it could be a kind of. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be. Look out for it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll replay this back in a couple of years and
20 years.
see if you're right.
The next one I've got down, I've just written Sad Robots, but it's not called Sad Robots.
Oh, that was so cool.
So we saw this kind of like little trailer of a cat going through this kind of world of robots, but the robots were humanized. So you had kind of like homeless robots, you had sad robots, happy robots in this world. But this cat was the thing going through, and then the game was revealed called Stray. And it's coming out in 2021. Richard, do you like it? Do you like the look of this?
Yeah, I did like the look of this. I think I'd read about this one before. I don't know whether this was an exclusive or not, but I definitely read something about a cat appearing in a neo-noir setting. But yeah, the art style for this and a lot of the other games, to be fair, there was a lot of diverse art styles, but that really got me with this one.
Yeah. Yeah, the world looks amazing. I mean, we don't know anything about the game, do we?
No.
I think it's going to PC as well.
Okay.
PlayStation and PC. But it caught my attention with the homeless people that have got a lucky cat ornament. That was the part where I thought, this game's for me. Not so much the cat. I don't like cats.
Right.
Otherwise, I'll be playing that game.
I think you're going to be the cat, James.
That's a disappointment. But if it's through the eyes of the cat, I won't see the cat.
Right.
It's a win-win.
Okay, good.
I do like it.
Edgar, you're a fan of cats?
I sort of like cats, yeah, but I like the game. I like Cyberpunk. Looks cool.
Yeah, good. And then we had some a bit more ray tracing. He was back again, right? And then we had some controller information, didn't we, about speakers and controllers and sound stuff, which we'll talk about a bit later on. And then it went into the next game, which I think is Retinal. Retinal? Retain.
What?
Say it, you two. What was it, James?
Returnal?
Returnal?
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I would have. Yeah, that's
Good.
what I got.
Yeah, I'm trying to read my notes here. I've got writings like a serial killer, scrawlings on a bit of paper.
Have you got my notepad?
Yeah,
Sorry.
it is. It's like the beginning of 7, the opening credits. This is a game that was. This is the one that's set in a kind of like a sci-fi world, and there's this sort of woman astronaut who kind of talks about stories. She repeats. She wakes up. She goes to this rescue, and she dies. And then she's in a sort of loop. Is that right? Have I got the right game here? Or am I mixed one up? Thoughts, James?
Not many thoughts other than it could be quite repetitive.
Well, good. But I think that's the point of the game.
Yeah, it's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, you're trying to break that.
Live, die, repeat.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise film. I wasn't convinced by the world. It just a bit too dark for me.
Yes. I've asked the wrong person. Edgar.
Yeah.
I think yeah.
I'm the right person?
Well, maybe.
It's too early to say, but it's made by Housemarque, and the games they've made before have all been great. They've made Super Stardust, Resogun.
Hmm.
I think they also worked on Outland. And this is different, and I like that it's different, but it's probably going to retain that same style of like shooting different colors and blocking certain projectiles by changing something in your character.
It reminded me as well a bit of like Lost Planet. Do you remember those games?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that in there. That's what I first of all thought. But I really like the setup. The trailer for it's really nice.
Mm.
Richard, you like this one?
It was all right. I don't think it really caught my attention.
Right, good. That's all right. That's all right. Just marking that down. Richard not caught attention. Good.
Please pass on my feedback to Sony.
I will do. Yeah. Good. And the next one here, we're just rattling through. I'm sorry about this, but I'm looking at the time. Sackboy. Sackboy game.
That was so much fun.
That was a surprise.
So it was a Sackboy from Little Big Planet, isn't it? And it was his own adventure. And it's looked like a 4-player co-op platformer.
Yeah.
Why was it a surprise, Edgar?
I didn't expect anything related to Little Big Planet, and especially when it's not made by Media Molecule.
Hmm. And it had all that world, didn't it? The world building of Little Big Planet, the sort of platformy, the platforms are very similar. It had all the visuals.
It looks something like a 3D Mario game with a Sackboy.
Mm. Yeah.
It's different to the usual games, the usual Little Big Planet games.
Richard, did you think there was a kind of they introduced a lot of family kind of games, didn't they? Sony, it felt,
yeah,
and this is the first of them.
I think that's again due to Microsoft laying their cards out perhaps first with their Inside Xbox last month. It just seemed to be a lot of action games, heavy on the dark elements, and not really family friendly at all. So I don't know whether that's got something to do with it, but yeah, there was quite a few even later on as well.
Yeah,
family friendly games.
But James, you like the look of this?
Yeah, well, like Edgar said, it was very Mario-esque.
Mm.
And then when you were swinging across like Spider-Man, and then in a little ball like monkey balls, I thought, well, this is for me.
And it's and 4 players. Looks like it looked in the trailers 4-player co-op.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Really co-op.
We can all play.
We can all play together. This is our game.
Yeah.
Good. And then we had another sort of like a game which looked like a multiplayer game. Maybe I've got this wrong, but we didn't know because called Destruction All Stars.
Oh,
Which looked like a mixture of Overwatch crossed with Rocket League.
Destruction Derby.
And Destruction Derby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be very annoying.
James, why do you think it's annoying?
It just seemed very in your face and over the top.
There was lots of really colourful characters doing lots of looking in cameras and doing things.
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I like the destruction part in the cars.
It seemed to be mixing, didn't it? Cars destruction and cars hitting each other. There was also sort of humans jumping around in the car.
You get knocked out of your car, and then you've got to do something to get another car. That's the way I saw it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't very clear.
It wasn't clear what it was. Again, do you like a bit of destruction?
I have to say I didn't watch this particular game.
No.
Not attentively. It's not for me.
No. Richard, you're the same, are you?
Yeah, obviously it's going to be some sort of online game, and at that point I stopped caring, to be honest.
Good, we'll move away from that one. Yeah. Okay, I'll cross out game of the tournament. Yeah, okay, good.
Let's have the next one better.
What's the next one? Kenya. Kena.
That was cute.
That was good, wasn't it? And that was introduced by the developers. And you're playing this kind of like girl, and it's this very cartoony world, isn't it? But how would you describe it, Richard?
They look like the soot balls from Spirited Away. That's the impression I got. But then she was also directing them around, like, is it Captain Oliver in Pikmin?
Pikmin.
Oh yeah.
That was the impression I got. So that she was sending them around to do things for her. I've got Pikmin vibes from it anyway.
Yeah. And Edgar, do you like the look of this?
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the best for me. I like the Oriental look, and it had a little bit of that mini ninjas vibe. That's what I got.
Okay. Yeah. I really like the world that they built as well. It's kind of like fantasy Zelda type world, and
very colorful.
Yeah, I saw Zelda.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought of. But the cute characters got me.
Yeah. No, it's really nice. That's really interesting. I didn't see a release date on that, but it's exciting. Then we had a trailer for a game called Goodbye Volcano High, which is coming out next year. Which is a sort of like, James, how would you describe this look?
It was like an anime mixed with Adult Swim artwork.
Yeah, that's good. It was sort of like dinosaur teenagers.
I could say dinosaurs, yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't really know what's the whole point of the game. Is it a visual novel? Is it a music game? We don't know.
High school drama.
Yeah.
Great.
We
need to know more.
Nice voiceover.
It looks the part.
Yeah, it looks interesting. We didn't know much about it, did we? But it's a nice little present. That's coming out next year. Richard, you be getting that one?
Yeah, I did like the high school setting, teenage drama, teen angst. I'm all about that. So yeah, I thought that one looked quite good.
What was the program about teenage dinosaurs? There was humans like dinosaurs, but they're Muppets.
Dinosaurs, I think. Yeah, it was done by Jim Henson. I think it was called Dinosaurs.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, what was it? What was it? TV show about dinosaurs? It was dinosaurs.
Okay, right. Moving on very quickly. Then we had a big reveal of a game that's been going around for a while, and it was the Oddworld franchise. That's only had a few games over the last 30 years, it seems to me, with Abe. And this is called, what's this called? Oddworld Soulstream? Have I made that up?
Soulstorm.
Yeah. But it was very much like Abe's Odyssey, wasn't it? Edgar, do you play that one before?
I know nothing about Oddworld, unfortunately.
Fair enough. It's quite, I think it first came out late 90s, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
And I remember,
it has a cult following, I think.
Yeah. Neil from the Xbox Hub, he's a big fan of these games.
Oh.
And I remember when it came out playing it and really liking it. And I remember the developer at the time saying he had 8 games planned. And that was in 1999. But I think we've only seen a few, like 3 or maybe 2 or 3. But this one felt like the first game that came out, in the kind of the bits of the structure you saw, which was basically controlling lots of the little creatures like him and trying to get them safely through a kind of like a level. But of course, this was PlayStation 5, and the backgrounds were quite impressive. You played it before, James?
Never.
Oh, this is good, isn't it?
No, I know of it, but it's never drawn me in.
Richard, you must have played this, so save me here.
I'm sorry, no, I can't.
Well,
I only ever played the demo on the PlayStation 1 demo disc. That's as close as I've ever got to an Oddworld game.
Yeah, demos are great.
Well, for Oddworld fans, you're in for a treat. This is a game that I think they like. I mean, I think they held quite a bit of sway on it because it's like a big, for the old school gamers like me and Neil. Yeah. But it looks nice. It looks good. It's interesting. The platform stuff was really good fun. Be interesting to see what they do. Next, I'm moving on. I'm going through them. We're halfway there. Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh yes.
It's Oh, James went. Oh yes, tell
I
us.
like the
James.
setting.
What is this about? Describe it.
Basically, a supernatural Tokyo.
Okay.
You have to kill loads of very freaky looking characters. But I couldn't really. I kept looking away. It's quite scary. The headless schoolgirl got me.
Well, yeah,
That was enough for me.
yeah.
But it looks very cool, and the Tokyo setting looks amazing.
What is Edgar? What was it? Is it a how would you describe it? Is it a fighter game? Is it a shooter?
Oh, I wish I knew. It definitely looks like a scary game. Like it's different from the usual Mikami's work, where it's in first person now. So yeah,
You like the look of it?
not really. At least not so far. I like the thematic, but I wasn't a fan of the gameplay. It didn't look like right. It didn't look like what I expected it to look.
Okay. Richard, you went. You liked it. You liked it.
Yeah, I did. I thought this one looked like similar to James. I thought the setting was good, but then I really liked the supernatural element that was part of it as well. I'm looking forward to seeing more about that one.
Good. Next on the list was a game that I really liked the look of, and because you didn't know anything about it. It's called The Far Shore, and we know it's coming out this year. And we just saw this. We saw these kind of like, they look like people from the 18th century, like ghosts of the 18th century. And then you're on a spaceship that's leaving the Earth, and then the years start to go really quickly. And then you're sort of like seeing a ship from down below going across planets.
I was confused.
It had me hooked straight away. It looked like a really lovely indie game.
I don't know.
There's a game I played called this year. You might have played it. You might have reviewed it. One of you, but it called Lone Sail. Lone Sails. Did you both do that?
No.
It reminded me a bit of that kind of just that texture and that world, which I loved. But it looked beautiful. I thought.
I think it's called Jet.
You thought it was called Jet?
Yeah.
It might be called Jet.
I thought was what you were.
I thought maybe it's called Jet the Far Shore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jet the Far Shore. Yeah.
It looked like when it got into the gameplay of the ship going up and down on the planet.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a slightly higher budget Fluffy Bird. Off like that.
Yeah. Richard, you agree with that?
Not with James. I agree with what you said. Yeah. This one looked very
and it's out.
Pretty and calming.
Yes, it's out this year.
Yes.
Edgar, Flappy Bird or not?
I didn't really quite understand what the game is about, but I think it might be one of those sleeper, like good indie games.
Yes, I agree completely. Now, then it started to ramp up a little bit, and we got a game trailer that we knew about this game already, that was coming to PlayStation 5 quite early on. I think it was one of the first, and that was a game called Godfall, which we saw a little bit about there. Edgar, you first, so I'm going to go to you. What is Godfall?
Godfall, I'd say, is a melee Borderlands game where you fight with swords and melee weapons and wear armor instead of like firearms and rocket launchers, and your characters look like some sort of mythological gods.
And that's what it is, isn't it? It's a kind of like it's a fighter, isn't it? It's like a melee fighting game.
Yeah.
Is it co-op? Do we know?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
It should be.
Does it excite you, Richard, this game?
Not really, to be honest. It seems like it's one of those titles that will come out at launch that similar to Rise and I want to say Heavenly Sword on the PlayStation 3. It was just like this action brawler type game that's very repetitive gameplay, but it's purely just to show off these shiny new graphics more than anything else.
Yeah,
It was very shallow.
I don't know if it looked any. I don't know if it didn't look great. I don't think. Maybe. Well, it just looked very generic. It looked like a lot of games I've ever seen, and I thought that when I saw the first kind of pictures of it, really, when it got revealed a few months ago. I'm a bit bored of Borderlands that type of thing. James, do you like the look of this?
No, like you say, it's generic.
Yeah.
Not interested.
And I think it might be a launch. I've got this feeling, isn't it? I think that's what they've been gearing up for.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It won't sell consoles.
It won't sell consoles.
No.
Right, we're moving on now because we've got quite a few to get through, but the big ones are coming now. Apart from this one, because I can't even remember it. I've written down Solar Ash. Is that right? Solar Ash, 2021. Can we remember this one?
Is that from the Hyperlight Drifters?
Yes.
People?
Yes. Thank you, James. Talk us through it.
Well, I just remember that bit and actually, so.
It looked nice. Edgar, did you like the look of Solar Ash?
I did. I haven't played Hyperlight Drifter, but this one looks cool.
It had a really lovely visuals, didn't it? The colours are amazing.
Mm.
Did we see a bit of gameplay with it?
Maybe. Yeah, there was a little bit. Yeah. A little bit of platforming.
Can you remember this, Richard, from an hour ago? You're struggling,
I'm struggling. I am struggling. I do remember seeing the Hyperlight Drifter thing.
What I know is I've written it in bigger capitals, so I must have liked it.
Was that because it was in larger font on the TV?
Yeah, maybe it was. Maybe it was. And then we got the next one, which is we saw this kind of like really nice kind of reveal as this very mysterious, almost crime thing, and then it was Hitman 3 trailer for that coming in January 2021. So not that far away, really. They always seem to release in January, don't they? The last one released then, did it?
Yeah.
James, what do you think?
It felt like the end. It feels like this is going to be it.
What, the end of the world?
Yeah, well, you never know. At the end of Hitman, he builds it off as, it's his last stand against the world.
Goldie is going down.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how it seems. I would like to see... So go on, Richard, go on.
No, the guy that... I can't remember the guy that was speaking before, but he was saying this is the conclusion to the Assassination trilogy, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does feel that this is the end of Hitman in this version anyway.
Mm.
I think it's been good how they've rejuvenated the Hitman series with these games. But I would have liked to see when he said there's a bit of gameplay coming up. It was a really terrible little clip.
He said, "We're high up in Dubai. Let's roll it." And then it was like him walking on the ledge. But do you know what? The Hitman games have always looked really amazing, I think, and the details and everything, and just the bits you saw just looked amazing. Even though we saw him walking along a ledge in Dubai, it's going to be a pretty looking game.
Yeah,
and we know from the other games how it's going to play out. If it's sandboxy, you can basically take multiple routes to get your targets. It's Hitman.
Was Hitman 2 episodic, or did they release them like the locations once a month?
Review it.
But
I don't you would know.
I reviewed the finished game, I think. I thought they released some games during the month. I went to a party, I remember that. And I got a copy of the game.
I think it all came out at once, I think.
Or maybe the first Hitman in this generation.
Yeah, the first was episodic.
Yeah, good. It was all blur. Good. Edgar, do you like Hitman?
I haven't played Hitman in a while, but yeah, I like this one. I like the sort of scenario where it seems like, as James said, it's his last stand, and there will be shootouts and stuff, perhaps.
Perhaps, yeah. Depends how you play it. If you're like me, it's just chaos. I'm running around with people. I'm dressed in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Right. Next one. What have I got here? Astro's Playroom. Richard.
Now, you laugh, but
Yeah.
I was really excited to see this
Me too.
because Astro Bot Rescue Mission is probably one of my favorite VR games.
Ah.
So I was really excited to see what was next. But looking at this, I don't think it's going to be VR,
No.
and that upset me because I thought this is the part of the conference where there is going to be VR mentioned,
Yeah.
but there wasn't at all. So I'm really concerned for the future of PlayStation VR.
Okay. Well, I think they're going to save it, aren't they? They're going to save that for the next. I think you might get something a bit later on about that. I don't
But
think they're going to.
it wasn't in that lineup of the hardware at the end either.
No, it wasn't. No. Maybe it's
It just-
extra.
Can get rid of it.
They want to get rid of it. Bid it.
If
Bid
you
it.
got VR, just forget it, guys.
It's like
done.
just put it with a Connect.
I don't
Put
want
it-
it to happen. I don't want it to connect.
It won't, Richard. It won't. I think they're going to release something in a year later, or something like that. Astro's play little platform game, another little family-friendly platform game.
Mm.
That's all I got to say about that. Anything, Edgar, you want to say about that?
Not really, no.
No, James. James, you like the look of
I'd
it?
say it's quite lovely.
Yeah,
I
it
love
does
that.
look good fun.
It was a nice little perk up. You know, perk you up after some not so good games and depressing bits. Yeah, it's nice.
Good.
Really nice.
Little platform, nice. Good.
Yeah.
This one I put into capital letters, and I can't remember anything about it. Little Devil Inside.
Oh yes.
Remind me what happened here, Richard. What is it? What was this about?
This
Right.
for me was like watching a Wes Anderson film.
Oh yes, and now I remember. Yeah, go on, explain.
And it's this kid walks into a room with a guy, and he's dragging this monster behind him. In a sort of 2D environment, and then it's just shots of this guy in the bath, and at one point he's literally sat on the toilet taking a poo, whilst this kid's going off and hunting these monsters. But yeah, just the way it was, the art style again, just reminded me of Wes Anderson completely.
It was a beautiful kind of world, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it just looked really. It reminded me a little bit of Inside, in a strange kind of way. It just, it looked intriguing, that game. Edgar, did you like the look of it?
I did, and speaking of the toilet, I got the impression that the main character could be in the old guy, like within him. Because at one point when the main character drops a bomb, the old man drops a deuce in the toilet. So maybe that was the bomb.
Would you say he was the little devil inside?
Yeah, that's what I got from it.
We've cracked it, lads.
Nice. Best
So
trailer.
maybe he's constipation.
Nice. But that's the best trailer of the night. That one. I really like that one for me. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Next, James, I'm going to put this onto you because I know you're a big basketball fan. We had NBA 2K21.
For me, that's what I call a toilet break.
That's what I did as well.
Yeah.
I had literally no interest
No.
whatsoever. I had no place being in that lineup.
No.
No one's interested.
As I've watched The Last Dance a lot on Netflix, I've been really into basketball, and then I played NBA 20 on Game Blast and did the first game and went, not for me. And if you're a basketball fan, that's good. It's going to be realistic. It's like all the sports games. They're going to be nice and shiny. Richard, you going to be playing it?
No, I didn't
No.
even know there was a team in basketball with the nickname the Pelicans. So that was something I learned from that trailer.
Good. I think we're going to move on. We're going to move on to another family game called Bug Snacks. This went on too long. That's all I'm saying. It went on too long for me. Edgar, did you think it went on too long, or you wanted more of Bug Snacks?
Yeah, I didn't like it. It was, I don't know. I got like a Disney vibe from it because there was the singing in the background, but like Disney on a much smaller and cheaper scale.
Yeah, it didn't feel. Yeah, it did feel a bit low key. James, what did you think?
It started off well with the strawberries. I thought they were nice and silly. And then the whole... The further you got into it, the more it grated on you. And
Yeah,
you thought, is
did,
it ending yet?
didn't
Is it ending?
It
So
felt
annoying.
it really outstayed its welcome a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, it looked...
Oh,
It was,
What
it
is
looked
it?
nice.
What is it though? I don't even know what it is.
It's a game.
Yeah, it's good. Bug Snacks. Look out for it, kids. Right, and then we had a big reveal. We had someone saying, I'm really pleased to reveal this, and it was what people were... Who predicted this and then changed their mind? Demon Souls Remastered.
Me,
Yes, you changed your mind on this, Richard.
because you asked for some new predictions, so I didn't know if those were still valid. But that
That
was
was
one of my original predictions.
Original
yeah.
predictions. And there it was. My partner, Bernadette, looked up from eBay while watching this and went, oh, that looks pretty. And that was the only contribution, really. So it was that, yeah, and then we saw Demon Souls. It's hard, isn't it? It's really hard to get excited about remasters. I find it really hard. But a lot of people will go mad about this game. Edgar, are you a Souls fan, or have I made that up?
Yes, I love Demon's Souls a lot.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think it's not a remaster. It looks like a full-on remake, doesn't it?
A full-on remake, do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a
That's really
remake.
Ah.
And yeah, I really loved the Demon's Souls on PlayStation 3, and it could be one of the best in the Souls series.
Okay. So you're very excited about this one.
Yeah, definitely.
Richard, you also played Souls games, eh?
I try. I enjoy them, but I am painfully bad at them.
Yeah. Like me, I reviewed one of them for us. That's how bad it was. Dark Souls 3, there was hardly anyone at the Xbox Hub at that point. So you had to give it to me.
But yeah, I think it looked really good, and seeing Blue Point Games being in charge of it, I think will be good for it, because they've done really good work on previous HD versions of. I think they did the Uncharted games for the PS4 as well, and just really do some good work on existing games.
I had played. I think I played half of it before on the PS3, and I did really enjoy it at that point. But it was like a Souls. It's just really it's so hard. But there's something I would be intrigued to go back again, because I don't feel like I've done enough of it to warrant getting kind of knowing the whole thing. I really want to see the end of it.
Now that you're saying that, I'm a little bit scared that they might make it easier.
Oh, please make it easier.
Like, I mean, too easy. Like, they would take away the challenge, maybe. Hopefully not.
Was this a launch title for the PS3?
The first Demon's Souls?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a launch title.
Okay.
I think it came out in 2008 or 9, at which point it only came out in Asia.
Yeah, I might have been. Yeah. Okay. James, you going to play it?
Probably not.
Good.
I like hard games.
Good.
My time's precious.
Richard, you had something else to say. I heard you breathe.
No, I was just thinking that I think it's probably a good time for it as well, because previously with Dark Souls, I think that's where a lot of people maybe jumped on when this first Dark Souls came out. But Demon Souls was the one before Dark Souls, and I think a lot of people missed out on it. So yeah, I do think it'll do well as a full-on remake as well.
And then we had another big game release, which was Deathloop, which is this new IP. Who's the developer? It's
Arcane.
Okay. Are they the ones who do Dishonored?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it made. That's why it had that feel to it. Who's the biggest fan out of this, out of the three of you? Who liked it the most? Richard? Edgar?
Yeah, I did like the look of it.
Right.
Sorry, Edgar.
It's okay. Go ahead.
You both could chat about it. It's going to be good. Richard first.
It was good. I really liked the look of how it almost felt like a 60s spy film at the same time as being this sci-fi time travel death loop thing. But yeah, I'm not sure. It's almost similar to that Returnal, where you're just going to be doing the same thing over and over again. And I'm not sure how that would play out.
So the idea is you're playing a character, aren't you? And you're trying to get through a thing, but this character is in this death loop. It just he dies and then comes back and dies, and then maybe by dying, that's part of the process as well of getting through the game. That's what I kind of got from it a bit. Because otherwise it would just be like a normal game, wouldn't it? Because you do die a lot in the game anyway.
Maybe eventually you need to complete the whole game without dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you don't go into the loop.
And there was another character, wasn't there, who was hunting you? Is that right, Edgar?
Yeah, and I think she's also on the death loop, right?
Yeah. And I had a thought in my head, are you playing that other character as well? Do you get to play the other character as well?
Because it went into first person for her, didn't it?
Yeah.
So you might be able to pick one, because I think there was 8 hitmen / hitwomen. Were you able to sort of pick from that 8 to sort of go through and finish off the others?
Yes, possibly. It intrigued me. It really did. I really liked the combat as well when it was in full motion. Bodies are flying and then get bounced around, and it did have that kind of Dishonored, full-on Dishonored kind of like morphing very quickly to a character and then having an attack that I liked. James, do you want to play this one?
I enjoyed the part where they jumped off the roof and snapped someone's neck. But other than that, I could take or leave it.
You like the bit when they jumped off the roof and snapped someone's neck, but apart from that, yeah. Okay,
Very much.
good. Right. I like this one. I think this is going to be really good. They're good pedigree. I really like the world.
I think it depends on the repetitiveness again. If it gets too repetitive, you just won't stick with it.
Yeah.
To get to the end.
Yeah. Good. Right. Deathloop. Scratch that out. And then we had another big game, which got really introduced in the trailer. You didn't know, it's kind of beautifully kind of animated. You're in this kind of very spooky, almost sepia kind of world. You're in this room and there's this kind of old gamekeeper. And then the more it gets revealed, more people thinking you're in this kind of village in the community. And of course it's a new Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 8.
Oh, yes.
I think Richard and Edgar are both biggest fans of these games. So let's start with Edgar first. Talk about this.
Yeah, it's a new Resident Evil game. You're playing as Ethan, which I'm not really a fan of. I don't know why they made him into such a prominent character, but it looks like you'll also be able to play as Chris and maybe some other characters. But it's scary. First of all, it's scary. It's in first person, so it's not like the recent remakes of 2 and 3. And the village, the whole setting is very reminiscent of that in Resident Evil 4. Like there were these weird characters with sort of these old dresses and hats. I think there were 3 women, very creepy, by the way. And the house or the castle in which they were in, that was also very like reminiscent of Resident Evil 4. I liked it a lot.
Richard?
Yeah, I've admittedly only just recently got into Resident Evil, finally, with the remakes of 2 and 3, and
Right.
and then at 7, I dared to play briefly on VR,
Wow.
Oh,
very
no.
briefly. Never finished it in VR, but yeah, I think this one had werewolves in as well, which really got me intrigued as to where it's going. But I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more about this one.
And who in the trailer? Who's the guy that turns up at the end? Is that Chris?
Which
Edgar.
one?
The one right at the end. There's a guy you see right at the end.
Oh yeah, that's Chris, the one who
Chris.
shoots a guy on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like he's been through quite a lot. Looks like he's been drinking.
Yeah, looks like he's dropped some muscle as well, so he looks a bit more realistic.
Yeah. I love the style. I love the visual. I've always loved the visual style of Resident Evil games, and they just kind of. I love Resident Evil 7. I love the first 3/4 of Resident Evil 7. I thought it was just a really amazing. So, and I like because that was in first person as well, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's great. I'm really looking forward to that. But that will be on the Xbox as well. I think, won't it? It's not a PlayStation.
Most likely, yeah.
Okay, we're moving on. And then we saw Pragmata, which is coming out in 2022. So we saw this kind of New York, the weirdest trailer in the world. An astronaut with a little girl and a robot cat that's also a hologram in New York. Then they end up in space and on the moon. And then it says coming 2022. We don't know anything else about that game. Unless you 3 have got something intriguing to talk about.
Not really. It's a nice coat.
Good.
The girl was wearing.
Yeah. Do we know, Edgar, Richard, do you know anything about this one?
I saw that it was also being developed by Capcom.
Ah, okay.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, at the end that popped up. But other than that, yeah, the trailer looked good. Had me intrigued. At first, I thought it was something to do with Death Stranding.
Yes.
I
Yes.
thought
But anyway, I'm glad it's not because I thought that'd be a bit too soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, looked interesting anyway.
I'm surprised they showed so much for a game that's due in 2 years.
Yeah, but also it didn't really have anything of any substance.
They didn't show gameplay, but
No,
still.
and also they could get away with, they could do the game about lovesick robots and relate it to that in some way. I don't mind it, but it has no, it could be anything in that game, and that's fine. That's fine. It gives you a taster. It gives you a little trailer taster. Okay. The last big game release, unless I missed something out, which was Horizon Zero Dawn 2, but it's not called that. What's it called? Horizon Going West?
Forbidden West.
Forbidden West.
Go west.
Go West.
it's paper.
And so we had a kind of whole look at the main character, and she was going across different landscapes. She was going underwater. There were robots underwater. There was big crab robots. It looked stunning. Where the story goes forward and how that world is, but that was their big game release. But it didn't have a date on it. It didn't say 2020, did it? It didn't say 2021, 22. There was no information there. But that was their kind of showstopper. I expected this was going to be announced. I thought it was going to be a launch title. James, what did you think? Have you played the first one?
I haven't now. But it looked the part. I was amazed by the visuals. From and the lighting. The lighting which was going through the forest. It looked amazing. But I haven't played the first one, so I don't really know.
Who's played it? Richard and Edgar? You two?
I've
First
played
one?
it. Yeah.
You like it, Edgar?
I've played a few hours. I like it, and this trailer sort of made me want to go back and give it more time. I liked it.
Richard, have you played the first one?
Yeah, I was disappointed with it.
Why?
I don't know, but I think going back, I would be interested in going back to it, similar to Edgar. But I wouldn't say that's from this trailer. I think that's from recently playing Assassin's Creed Origins. I think that open world has suddenly now appealed to me a lot more. So I would be interested in going back to it. But when I first played it, yeah, and I bought it on release, I was just very disappointed.
How much do you put into it? How many hours?
Oh, it's about 8 hours.
Okay. All right.
7 or 8 hours.
Right.
I did was it the first? You get like to a settlement or something that you have to retake from someone. I can't really
That's right,
remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got that far and then just lost all interested.
See, I've done the whole game and all the DLC as well. I
Whoa,
think I've put in a lot of hours into it.
that's a surprise.
Yeah. So I love it. Yeah, it's great. I really like the world. I really like the kind of like the story building of it and all the things you can do. It just looks beautiful, and the characters and just where it's mixing that whole idea of, because the first bit of the game you start off learning your skills as a little girl, going through this thing and you don't quite know who you are, and then you grow up and you do feel like this kind of epic tale I was being told. I do worry that where does it go from here? What's the big leap forward? Because in the first one you were kind of working out, as with the audience, where are you? What is this world? Are you in kind of Bronze Age? What is it? And then it all gets revealed. Why are there robot animals going around? What's the point? So you learn all these secrets as you go along, which becomes quite intriguing, and the story of that.
I got the impression that they might open up new environments. I don't know if you can get underwater in the first game, can you?
No, you can't, no.
So it looked like you'll be able to dive underwater. Like similar to, I'd say, Subnautica. Have you played that one?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Yeah, so it looked a little like Subnautica in that sense. Maybe they will go into space, because when she was riding the horse in the background, you could see like, I mean, it wasn't space, but there was like this huge like alien being or something. I don't know. Maybe you'll be able to visit other planets. I don't know. I'm just guessing here.
You heard it here first. Other planets, space.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited about this. It's going to be interesting to see when it comes out. Maybe they will. We don't really know what the lineup. That's the last of the games. There wasn't any idea of the lineup, what they might be. We know 2 or 3 games out of that whole list of 2020, don't we? But we don't know. We know some of them are next year or a couple 2022, but a lot of them haven't got dates. So that might be one of the lineup games. We don't quite know yet.
I think they're holding out until they know themselves if they're going to have a console out this year.
Yeah, and then finally, the last thing we saw with the actual console being revealed, and the look of the console. And James, how would you describe it?
I'm not sure. It's like a router that I used to have.
Okay.
A couple of years ago.
Happy memories of that router?
Well, if it does the job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I quite like is it a digital edition? It looked more pleasing on the eyes.
Yes.
Like the sticky out bit. Where the disc would go.
Well, let's talk about, first of all, about the first thing we saw, which is the main PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I jumped ahead there.
No, it's good. It's good. Richard, what do you think? What is it? How would you describe it?
It's very bold, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was watching it with my partner, and I think the way that it looked was her favorite part. She said, "Oh, I like the look of that."
Okay.
But I just hope it sits horizontally as opposed to vertically. That's my biggest problem with it at the
I
moment.
believe it does.
I hope it does.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be sat under my TV if it does, so I won't really see it that much.
Edgar, I thought it looked like it had a kind of car look to it, like a...
Did you read my post on Discord?
No, what did you say? What was it?
Because I said the same thing.
Ah,
With the two wings on top,
yeah,
it really looks like an expensive sports car.
yes, yeah, it has that
And
kind of like aerodynamic kind of.
I really, really love it.
Ah, there you go, big fan. Yeah, it does look good. It looks, it looks interesting, and it's. We saw it. Is it white? It's white, isn't it? White and kind of the one we
White
saw.
with black in the middle.
Blue lights.
Blue
Yeah.
lights. Yeah, no, it looks good. And then we saw that we had the console as well. I'm sorry, the controller as well, which we've already seen kind of pictures of. And then we, like as James just pointed out, then it went and we saw two consoles. We saw the PlayStation 5 and also the digital edition.
Buy one and get one free.
You want to get what? Say it again.
Buy one and get one free.
That'd be a good marketing.
That'd be very good, wouldn't it? We don't know what any guesses what the digital edition is?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty much the same thing as Xbox did with their all digital edition.
So it's just that, is it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
It just doesn't have a disk drive.
Right. There we go. And then also we saw with the lineup we had a headset. Like, how do you describe that headset, Richard?
Over the ears.
Good.
Headset.
That's what I like to hear. That kind of in-depth conversation over the head. It was like an over-the-ear. What's it called? Not like an Xbox controller when it's just a little small thing. It's like a full Turtle Beach type affair. Yeah.
Like every headphone set you've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
like the look of it. And then we also had a camera as well.
Like a little Kinect.
Like a little Kinect,
Correct.
yeah. Which means, do you get the whole lot, do you think? Do you think it would be a whole thing? Is that the whole package?
No.
No?
No.
These are all extras you buy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You heard it here first.
And the media remote. Don't forget.
And the
The
media
remote
remote.
control.
The most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone needs one of them. Good to use the controller. Yeah, man.
Good. So that's it. But the biggest thing is what we didn't get. We just said come in the holiday. So they didn't give a release date.
Well, it's later this year, didn't they? That was it.
Later this year. Yeah. So we haven't got a release date yet. So that could be for a number of reasons. Like Richard, you said they won't know yet because of the pandemic and the kind of problems. Also, it could be, are they waiting around for Xbox? Are they waiting to see who goes
Yeah.
first? With
Yeah.
price as well.
That could be the fact with the price, I think. Otherwise, why don't just get it out there now? The price won't change, will it? Surely.
Because we had
I think
rumours of
it-
the price, didn't we? We on Amazon, which PlayStation had denied completely, which was like,
Oh, they denied it?
yeah, straight away.
Okay.
They said
Maybe that's
And-
why they didn't reveal it.
It's
They've
going to be a
got
quid.
everything now.
it's
£1 or
500.
£2 cheaper.
Yeah, it's £599 listed on Amazon. So, yeah, that was and for the Xbox Series X as well. So, two consoles, 600 quid. So, yeah, and PlayStation denied it. So, but we haven't got any price yet. We haven't got a date.
That was a shame.
Which is for when the Xbox and the PlayStation 4 came out, did they announce at E3 and said it's coming in the state then? Can you remember?
No, I don't think so. I think they were within 2 weeks of each other.
Okay.
And I think the Xbox one was first.
Because it's got to be soon, hasn't it? It hasn't, it's got to be probably within the next month or so, I would think, just for the pre-order market and stuff.
awkward, isn't it? Especially at this time.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Because they were November time last time.
I think
Yeah.
one thing that the Amazon leak suggests is that the pre-order pages are already ready, so they're just waiting for the go-ahead from Sony.
Yeah. I think it must be soon. Maybe they're waiting to see what Xbox do in July.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It might be down to how much stock they're going to have as well.
4.
5, because it's PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
And Series X, if we assume that X stands for 10,
10. Yeah.
that's twice as many. So
They're the winners already. They've won the
Yeah.
console wars. Now, I'm just going to go around to all of you. James, how many did you get right out of your
Technically one.
predictions? What's your technically one?
Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
2.
Yeah. Richard, how many did you get?
The second lot won.
1. And Edgar, how many did you get?
1.5.
What was your half again?
Because Spider-Man, but it's not exactly 2.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
Yeah.
a half point on that, and Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, that's right. Edgar's the winner. Good.
I didn't know we're competing.
Yeah, so it's a trophy
I
and
didn't.
everything. Yeah.
Oh, you put more effort into it.
I'm just going to go around again and say a success, yes or no, for PlayStation. Richard, success.
Yes.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Is it what is it made you excited?
Yeah, but I think as well for games coming out on Xbox as well.
Okay. Would you buy a PlayStation at launch?
Not as it stands.
Fair enough. Edgar, same question to you. A success or not?
Definitely success. A touchdown, I'd say. Surpassed my expectations, in fact. I really loved the presentation. I love the look of the console because based on the dev kit that we saw earlier, I thought if they go that route, I mean, I don't really care about how the console looks, but I'm pleasantly surprised by this one.
Good. So you're going to buy one at launch?
I'm not sure if at launch. I'd say I need to see more games, and because going from experience, launch titles are usually not representative of what the console can do. So
Great.
I don't know yet.
Okay. James, success or not?
I think because I've not played most of the games, I am quite excited to play them.
Oh.
Especially the sequels and the new ones like Stray. Stray is really interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, success.
Are you going to buy that console at launch?
Nope, definitely not.
Good. I'm excited. I really thought I think they did a good job. There's some really interesting games there. I'd like to have seen a release date. I'd like to have seen a price.
Yeah.
I'd like to have seen that lineup.
I think the price more than anything. Because
Yeah.
the price you can start saving. If you know it's going to be a ridiculous 600 quid, then you can go, well, I'll start saving now.
Yeah. But good. Thank you, gentlemen. It's been really good. Thank you for going through the big list. We've talked for enough. It's now 20 to midnight. We're going behind the curtain. We're tired. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, Edgar. Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you very much, James.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Where can we get you? Let's get you on Twitter. Where can we get you, Richard?
At Dobbo1912 on Twitter.
Great. James, where can we find you?
At OKGUKO on Twitter and Instagram.
And Edgar, where can we find you?
Edgar Wolf on Twitter and Instagram.
Brilliant. And you can get me at GB Briley. And it's been my first foursome, and I've enjoyed it, even though it's been quite late and quite tired. But thank you, gentlemen, and please subscribe and leave a comment, see what you liked. And we'll see you later on. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the official podcast of TheXboxHub.com. You'll be able to find all the notes of this show at www.TheXboxHub.com/podcast. You can also check out our social feeds on Instagram and Twitter at The Xbox Hub, and search for The Xbox Hub on Facebook.